Good evening and welcome to UTV Live. Carl Frampton is making final preparations before his WBA featherweight title fight in New York tomorrow. The Jackal and his opponent Leo Santa Cruz both made weight at the weigh-in earlier today in New York. In a moment we'll hear from some of Carl's biggest supporters in Tigers Bay, where he grew up. But first, our sports correspondent Ruth Gorman is in New York talking to our very own knockout star.
Gotta testify, come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky. Gotta testify, come up in the spot looking extra fly. For the day I die, I'ma touch the sky.
I want my kids to be proud of me. I want the people of Belfast and Northern Ireland to be proud of me.
The weight of a nation may be on Carl Frampton's shoulders as he aims to become the first boxer from Northern Ireland to win world titles at 2 different weights. But Frampton thrives on pressure. That's why he's more up for this fight than any before.
Leo Santa Cruz is a 3-weight world champion. He's never been in a dull fight in his whole life. He throws over 100 punches around. I've wanted someone like Leo Santa Cruz, a big name, someone who keeps coming forward and putting pressure on me, because that's what I like. That's what I like to perform against.
This is going to be for the featherweight title, my old title. That is insignificant. It really doesn't matter. We're not into sentimentality. He certainly isn't. No idiosyncrasies at all. He's concentrating on this fight. He's concentrating on boxing when Santa Cruz wants to fight, and fighting when Santa Cruz wants to box, and just controlling the fight. And this is going to be one of the fights of the year.
Sports stars Rory McIlroy and Frank Lampard will be ringside cheering on Frampton in Brooklyn tomorrow night.
This is about making history and creating a legacy. I want people to be talking about this fight for a long time. I want to be going into a pub in 30 years' time and people say, I remember that fight you had with Santa Cruz.
You gon' touch the sky.
It's right here on top of the Empire State Building that Carl Frampton and Leo Santa Cruz met for the first time earlier this week. A few days of fighting talk and final preparations later, it all boils down to who's the better fighter in the ring tomorrow night. A win for Frampton would leave him on top of the world and the only Northern Irishman to be crowned a 2-weight world champion. Ruth Gorman, UTV Live, New York.
Well, the supersonic trip to boxing stardom started for Carl back home in North Belfast. The talent that's taken him to the top of the sport was discovered and developed in Tigers Bay. Richard Cull spent the day talking to some of Frampton's most loyal fans.
From his working-class heartland of Tigers Bay in North Belfast to the bright lights of New York City and a super fight that puts Carl Frampton firmly on the global boxing stage. The Jackal's already a hero here, and one of his biggest fans is making sure everyone knows where her loyalties lie.
He's a brilliant boxer and he stopped to talk to me a lot of times, and he's a nice person. I'm proud of Carl because he's from the Bay and he's a hero here.
The wee girl just loves him, so she does, and she's so proud that she's from Tigers Bay and he's made a name for himself. She's been to every fight apart from the 2 American ones. She's obsessed with him.
On the streets where Carl grew up, people are immensely proud of his success story.
Around here, when we were all kids, it was just troubles. And for Carl to come from a background like this with all the troubles going on, to make it in boxing, quite an achievement.
Frampton, knock him out in the 4th round. Hope so. Santa Cruz will not have a chance.
It's going to be a hard fight. I think it's going to go the full way. I think he'll win in points. A strong fighter, without a doubt.
It's great. I think it motivates the whole area, you know. I think it's a very good thing for the area, and he's a nice lad. So I hope he does well.
Another man confident Carl will do the business is Olympic medalist and 2-time British champion, Hugh Russell.
I think the big thing is that we've never seen him fighting in 9 stone before. I think 9 stone is the big thing. He's going to be massively better at 9 stone than what he was at 8 stone 10. It's a massive difference in weight, and I think that's what he needed. I think the camp knew that's what he needed, because his last couple of performances, they'll both all admit that he wasn't the best, but he'll have to be on his best at 9 stone to beat Santa Cruz.
At Holy Trinity Boxing Club in nearby Turf Lodge, there's only one man they'll be rooting for come fight night.
Boxing's one big family, always has been, and the supporters behind boxing support boxing, and they'll support who's the champion of the day, and Carl Frampton's the man at the moment, and we sincerely hope he wins. During the Troubles, Barry McGuigan was the guy who was put up there, and more or less put on the peace banner, and he brought the communities together, and he's putting it straight back with Carl, where Carl's doing exactly the same.
Now it'll be a late night for any Frampton fans watching the fight in the Big Apple live, as Carl's not due to enter the ring until the early hours of Sunday morning. But if I was a betting man, I'd say that'll not stop people here from tuning in. Richard Cole, ETV Live, North Belfast.
But first tonight, it is boxing, and Belfast Carl Frampton will try and create a little bit of history this weekend by becoming the first ever two-weight world champion from Northern Ireland. His weigh-in with his unbeaten Mexican opponent Leo Santa Cruz happened just a short time ago. Thomas Kane reports from New York.
We might be in Brooklyn, but it felt like Belfast inside the Barclays Centre, with hundreds of Frampton supporters making the trip to New York. Both Leo Santa Cruz and Frampton comfortably made the weight, and I spoke to the Belfast boxer a short time ago.
There's no pressure on me, all the pressure's on this guy. He's the champion, he's the one the bookies have as favourite. He's the one that all the media have as favourite. I know I'm going to upset them all. I'm just feeling confident, super confident. It's the easiest I've made the weight. I'm full of energy, and you're going to see the best performance there has been from me yet.
How are you feeling physically?
Unbelievable, best shape of my life. Honestly, I didn't have to do much this week to make the weight. It's been great. I'm just looking forward to get going.
What will happen now over the next 24 hours for you?
I'll eat some food, I'll chill out, drink some water. That's it. Rest up, see my family, my kids, and Christine got over yesterday, so I'll spend a bit of time with them, just chill out.
What did you make of that reaction and all the Frampton fans who have made this trip?
Unbelievable. I think there's still more on their way, so it's going to be good. It's going to be good in here tomorrow night. I'm looking forward to it. I think I spooked him a bit. I don't think he was expecting that. That was great.
How could this fight change your life?
It could make me a superstar. I want to be known, I want to be remembered for a long time. Beating guys like Leo Santa Cruz, that's what it's going to do.
One interested spectator tomorrow night here in Brooklyn will be Scott Quigg from Manchester, Carl Frampton's last opponent.
This is a massive fight, and you know what, at first, when it was first made, I was leaning towards Santa Cruz, but the closer the fight's got day by day, I'm siding with Carl now, so I think it's a real 50-50 pick-em fight. You know, it's whoever turns up on the night, but I have a feeling that he's going to pull it off.
How do you think Carl will benefit from the extra £4?
Well, I think that'll be the difference. If he does benefit from having the extra £4, where he's got more in the tank, he's got more power again, then I do give him a good chance in the fight. If the extra £4 has now given him that advantage, where he's a lot fresher, he can hold the pace a lot longer, he's got a real good chance of winning the fight.
Frampton will enter the ring just after 4 o'clock on Saturday night, home time. You can listen to Santa Cruz against Carl Frampton live on Radio Ulster and on Radio 5 Live, with coverage starting at around 3:30. Thomas Kane, BBC Newsline at the Barclays Centre in Brooklyn.
Yes, big weekend for Carl Frampton.